my screen.
Yep.
And today we are going to talk about the knowledge base, and I'm going to give you the background as to why we're getting a knowledge base and why we're using Gitbook, how the knowledge base is built, how you can use it, and then perhaps most importantly, I'd like you all to have a go and then give feedback and make future contributions by the score. So this is one of those places where don't let your inhibitions worry you. Just go ahead and plunge in, please. So since our aim is to make life much easier and more efficient and quicker for councils and everybody to find the data they need, we're going to put it into a knowledge base. And the knowledge base consists mainly of pointing people to the examples we found of best practice. So the chances are that somebody out there has already done what you guys are looking to do. And the chances are that somebody somewhere has refined the way of getting there. So we're going to try and find best practice and point people towards them. We don't actually load the documents themselves onto the knowledge base, except when it's seen as advantageous to getting the search engine inside the knowledge base to read all the documents. And as we suggested before, we're hoping to get people to where they want to be within 3 clicks. We're not there yet, but I'm sure it's not that far away. So we've chosen Gitbook as the underlying structure because it is pretty up to date. It's one of those things that's put together by enthusiasts rather than a company, and therefore people all over the world are making their contributions and thereby keeping it very much up to date. It's got AI built into it, which really helps the search engine. Because it's looked after by enthusiasts, there's almost nothing for us to do except enter the data. It's a familiar interface, which I hope you'll all recognize, and possibly its greatest argument is that it's free, which is very helpful to us in our current state of finances. It's not perfect, and certainly getting information into it is not yet as simple as it could be, but I think there's lots of improvements being made as we go along, as we said. You may find that when you're doing your own searches, there's a snag at the moment in Gitbook that it is tending to come up with double entries for everything. So you may see everything twice. Fret not, we've put in a request that they fix that. And certainly we're not the only people to have come across that, but that's just one of the drawbacks. So because of modern search engines, you could argue there's absolutely no need to have any structure. You can just throw all the documents into the system and let the search engine sort it out. But that doesn't really help you find all the related documents that may come up through the menu system. It doesn't give us any structure that lets us know what we've got and what we haven't got. And so we need to have a structure. And finally, there are some users out there who have always used a structural system, and therefore they prefer to work that way. So we're hopefully providing systems for both those who like to just throw a search engine in at a job, or those who like to look for their stuff through a logical system. Introducing you all to the word taxonomy, because we've created a taxonomy which is really our guiding principle for structuring the whole database. So somebody need to mute somebody. And try. Who's that?
How do you get?
No, I'm just going to mute everybody to know what's making a lot of noise. Okay. So we have created a spreadsheet, which you're going to see in a second, which lists all the topics under which we think people are going to be very interested. It's a work in progress. So when you see it, don't think this is it rigidly built in stone. I'm really hopeful that we'll get suggestions from you guys on what updates are needed. We've built the menu system to match the taxonomy, and you'll see that in a moment. And hopefully they'll all tie together to keep everybody on speed. So this is the first of two slides. The first point that I'd like to make is that the spreadsheet itself is not ordered according to a nice alphabetical system, whereas the menu structure in the wiki site, Knowledgebase, whatever you want to call it, has been reorganized so everything's in alphabetical order. So this is a wonderful example of those who like to live in an ordered system and those who like to live in a completely disorderly one. And you can see that those who created the spreadsheet are disorderly, and those who run the knowledge base are less so. So this is the first item. Pings are grouped into the areas which we think are going to be more useful to people. You'll all find words that will probably be found in other listings for climate change things. So, if you're looking for the generation of electricity, could be by hydrogen or by wind turbines. They're all under energy, but they're not under separate products of their own. So this is page 1. Page 2 covers these last 3 topics. And again, I'm very happy to take people's suggestions that they can be improved. You can look at the latest version of the taxonomy from within the knowledge base when you get there. So that's just giving you an idea of what is our guiding light at the moment. So here is the knowledge base itself, and you're all going to be getting a chance to play with this, but I'm just giving you the overall view of how the first page will look. And on the left is the menu system, which you can see is mostly consistent of the taxonomy itself, but now ordered in alphabetical order. A couple of items near the bottom: adaptation, mitigation, are previous entries into the system which have yet to be brought in line with the rest of the taxonomy. And then that tells you there's a link to the taxonomy spreadsheet itself down the bottom there. So the vast majority of the knowledge base are the documents, the links, the templates, the guides, and everything that people are going to contribute, I hope. And then down the bottom, under events, you'll be aware that we have a weekly banter session and have been doing so for the last couple of years. So there's some 70 odd items there that you can, will be searched. When you do a search, it will go through the events section as well as the taxonomy. So you will find a lot of the stuff that's coming up at the moment is because the biggest contribution to the database to date has been the events, the banter sessions. So you'll note that this is the overall view. Somebody, oh, let me just put, okay, just put Leo on mute because we're getting feedback, but otherwise happy to see you with a much bigger picture. Yeah. There's a lot of echo on you, Leo, so I've put you on mute. All right, moving on then. This is the overall picture of what it looks like. Note at the top that there is a search engine button. And now we're going to go through how you use that. So the fastest way of finding if we have anything in the knowledge base is through search. And I'm expecting that most people will use this route as, again, the most efficient way of doing things and desperate to get you down to your 3 clicks to find something. So just click anywhere in the search box to bring it up, and up it comes with a screen of previous searches if you've made them. If you haven't, then you'll just get the top line, the search content, and you can start typing whatever you want into that top line up here. Which is what I'm saying here. Note that there are 2 lines when the system comes up. You get an option to go out onto the internet. So the green line is searching the internet. The top line is searching the knowledge base itself. And I've typed in the word retrofit, and you can see that the word retrofit has been found, but it comes under energy efficiency, which is sort of what you'd expect. Here is a major caveat. All right. So when you're typing in the search word or phrase that you're seeking, don't follow it with an enter button. The search engine starts working just as soon as you type the first letter. And when you've finished, it's busy searching away. If you type enter, you kill the whole thing. So you do get a symbol that's sort of the lines on that icon are circulating around as the system is working to let you know that it's not gone dead. And then when it finishes that, it comes up with a list very much a la Google, comme ça. And then again, very much a la Google, if you want to read any of the documents, just click on the title. But to get an idea of which documents you may want to read, there is a short summary underneath the title. Please note this is a scrollable list. You can go all the way down because it may find 20 or more articles under your topic. So the search engine ranks its finds according to what we've put in the title, the description, and the keywords. We're trying to put the keywords into the description in the knowledge base, which is the first paragraph that you enter after the title. I mean, this is not of interest to you particularly, except in case you're worried about how it finds the documents it's found and put them in the orders it's put them. So the closer that the words in the title and the description and the keywords match your search type item, the closer the document will be, hopefully, to the one that you want. So the next step onto that then is that the more detail you put into the search term, the more limited the output will be, but it ought to be much better suited to your wishes. However, you will remember that if you put as a very specific term in searching, then if the system has used a word that's different from yours, you'll miss it. So there's a nice balance between searching on just one word or one phrase or one item or one that's very specific. You're going to have to work out which works best for you. And then again, a reminder just to see what you want to see, you click on the title and it brings up something like the left-hand side of this screen. So once you've got it here, there are several things that you can do with it. You can just, if there's a video, as there is here, for instance, you can click on the start button and it'll start up and roll away. You can download anything from this page, or you can simply cut and paste any words that you find are particularly interesting to your case. Or there is an export to a PDF option here, which will take the whole article and export it to your computer for you. So you've got those 3 or 4 choices once you've found the information that you're seeking. There is, as I said before, those who prefer to go via a menu. It works exactly the way you'd expect it to. Each menu item probably has sub-pages underneath, and you just click through the ones you want. And again, they will be in the same order as the taxonomy or lists, so you can see where you want to go from there. At the moment, and because we're just getting started, we haven't bothered putting in a page for a menu item if we don't have any data for it. So if you find that the taxonomy leads you to believe that you'll be able to search down to 3 levels to get the specific item you want, and the menu system doesn't match that, it's because we don't have any item that goes there. So hopefully this is time saving to you, and certainly is time saving to us. All right. This is the moment I hope that you've all been waiting for, that you get a chance to take a look at the system yourself. If you would please just remind yourselves that this is not an exercise in showing you how much we've got. It's more an exercise in showing you what is there, certainly what isn't there, and hoping that we'll get lots of feedback from you on what ought to be there but isn't. What you found out about the system and whether you can think of ways of improving it. Basically, what do you think of the ease of use, and giving us the opportunity to improve on a constant basis. So there are 2 ways of getting into the knowledge base at the moment. You can either follow the link on the screen, or you can go to our Great Collaboration website and you'll find the link underneath the How Can I Get Involved drop-down menu. Note the subtlety of the how can I get involved when actually what you're trying to do is to get the system to work for you. Haha, but we're way ahead of you there. So please take a few minutes to go in and see what you'd like to do. I'm going to just stop sharing for a moment so I can watch people's faces and see if they're puzzled, horrified, or devastated. And then we'll come back together for the next part of today's session. Thank you.
Graham, can you post the link in the chat?
Can I do? Oh, yes, of course I can. Sorry, that's a very good idea. Thank you. There you go.
I think you stunned them, Gary. Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't been
well
this
done.
excited in a long time.
Yeah. Well done, my friend, on all the work that's gone into it. And as everybody can see, a lot of work's gone into it and a lot of work in progress. And it can only get more and more better with everybody's help.
Precisely. Thank you.
Or more better, as we used to say in primary school. Yeah.
By all means, when you're happy with what you've done, then indicate by either raising your hand on the screen or putting a note in the chat, or you're ready to move on. I'm very happy for people to take their time.
Graham, do you want us to feedback on the menu on the left-hand side, the welcome, underneath the welcome?
Absolutely. Oh, no. Well, you mean comments on that bit? Absolutely. Yes, please.
Because there's a few things missing, I think.
Yes, it's all still a work in progress. I don't confess to any of it having got to the very end. Thanks, Gary. But yeah.
Yeah, so I think there are a couple of main things missing in terms of like waste, water, potentially also climate literacy, I think is a big one. Personally, I find that a big resource that I'm always trying to find latest information on. So climate literacy might be a good. Also, maybe environment, nature, offsets, and another biggie, funding might be another good one. I mean, if you can have a section on where to go for funding, I think you'll get a lot of interaction with it.
Very, very true, Gary. Thank you. And hopefully you've started the ball rolling on other people coming up with things that they thought of.
Stuart's got his hand up, Graham.
Yep, let's go for Stuart, please.
I know I've made these comments before, but one of the biggest sources of greenhouse gases is food and agriculture. And we don't seem to have anything about regenerative farming, agriculture in general, the various farm clusters, many of which are geared towards environmental protection. I think we need to be leaning more towards encouraging them to participate in this.
Agreed, Stuart. There is actually a section called agriculture in the taxonomy, but it's probably one of the ones that I've yet to actually put anything into. As I said, this is very early days, so I'm hoping that you guys will feel that you're much more contributing to the growth of the thing rather than noting what we're missing.
Well, I was wondering, is it worth contacting one of these farming clusters and seeing if they would like to do a session for us?
I think that is a great idea. Yes, please. I've written that down.
Can I volunteer?
Amanda, we're always happy to have you. What are you doing on the 23rd of July?
It's not me. Oh no, I come with experts.
All right.
You know me, I'm a generalist, I'm a signposter and networker. So Cotswold National Landscape not only is a national landscape where we cover many farm clusters, but we also have the Royal Agricultural University in Cirencester, and we have many a farm cluster based within Cotswold National Landscape. And several of our board members are involved with farm clusters. And I wonder whether I could get you an expert instead.
Um, don't hesitate, Amanda. Go ahead and start sending out your emails, your phone calls, and your WhatsApps, because
Yeah.
yes, sound like a great idea. And Stuart would be delighted to get such an instant response. So,
And what sort of dates did you mention?
I'm just going there. Hang on a second.
It's just I'm going to hit the ground running.
Yes, bear with me one intense moment.
My challenge is, can I get you a yes by this afternoon?
All right. Well, okay. So I'm looking at the 23rd of July and the 30th of July,
Yep.
and any date after the 6th of August, except the 3rd of September.
Okay.
So there are something like 30 odd Wednesdays left in the year. So by all means, feel free to take on the challenge of filling them all up, Amanda.
That's perfect. And I have got a couple of suggestions that my hand was up, but I don't know if I'm the next person.
Go for it, because I'm sure David will give you a space.
Thank you very much. I'm busy with the screen showing the site and not yourselves with your hands up. So apologies. One that I haven't yet come across, but is a personal favorite of mine, and I'd even be prepared to do a session on this, and that is when you get new housing developments, estate management, and whether it's adopted or not. And the biggie, the big council that we think is just right up there on the throne is Stratford District Council, who have a policy of adopt the lot always. So they won't allow estate management by private enterprise. And that whole thing about how a new housing estate has estates managed. So it comes under the public realm because it's public open space, but it's put out to private management, and the problems that can go wrong are huge. And it's the subject to the Competition and Markets Authority. It has its own all-party parliamentary group. There's loads going on to do with this issue of councils not adopting. And obviously, as a result of that, the ability to look at all things carbon, nature, etc., and water management and flood management. It touches all of our, so it's a planning thing, I guess, but it could be in so many others. So it doesn't fit our
Brilliant.
taxonomy nicely, but I'm sure we could find the preferred place for it.
Well, there is a planning section within the text.
Yeah, and likewise, you see SUDS is in the public realm section. Yet there's many a sud that's in an unadopted estate that's there to protect the rest of the parish council area, and yet is in private ownership. But I think
Great.
the Water Act, the recent Water Act's got something to say on that, as has NALC and SLCC. So, I can see why this could be quite an interesting topic maybe to cover.
Brilliant, Amanda. Thank you. I've nearly run out of paper, but
Okay, well, then the other
go
one
on.
was around, and I don't know whether I've missed it yet, and it could be under sort of society, and that is around citizen science and the whole element of engaging the public and building things bottom up.
Yeah, that's a great point. Thank you.
Yeah, and in that you could put things like Linda Aspie with her psychology, the climate
Yeah.
doom and how we manage to avoid that. And then the whole thing about nature recovery strategies from all around the counties. Can we have a place where we can deposit all of them? Not deposit them, but add links to them.
I knew I was right to be delighted that you're coming, Amanda, today. So thank you.
You mean I talk a lot? Thank you.
Great suggestions. Yes, thank you. Could we move on and give David a chance, please?
Please.
Thank you.
Right.
first I'll talk about the interface, which is actually better than you described. One, I've put in things and it has been successfully retrieving points from all the banter sessions. And lots of things people mentioned already. If you actually type them in, you'll find a banter session about it. Secondly, if you click on the green arrow, it doesn't search the internet, it searches this Git book. What the AI does is write a summary at the top based and then underneath list sources from things we've put in the Git book. So actually, when you're testing it, I suggest you do a search first rather than just look through the taxonomy. Okay, next thing,
Yeah.
I actually know what a taxonomy is. And yes, when we get topics, someone, preferably a librarian, should organize them into a proper hierarchy. Now, ideally, you also have relationships between topics and articles.
Yeah.
But for that, you need something like Semantic Media Wiki, which is much more complicated to set up. But maybe someone ought to make notes or actually in the article saying see also. It would be nice if something like that could be
That's
in
really
it.
helpful, David. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how much that is built into Gitbook. I haven't actually looked at the instructions for that yet. And yes, quite a few things people have mentioned are actually in the taxonomy, but under a different title. So we need something about synonyms.
Yeah.
And that's it for now, until I have more chance to look at it.
Thanks for that, David. As a past school librarian, I must take part of the blame for the current taxonomy, but I'm sure it can be improved.
Well, I do like the idea of how do you find synonyms. I think that's a very powerful one. Because you're right, if you don't use the word that's there, then the system may not find it. So thank you. Right, I'm open to lots of suggestions from anybody else, please. You know what's coming, Andrew. You can't arrive here and not ask any questions. Andrew Clegg from Somerset. You're on mute, Andrew.
I'm a bit late because I've been dealing with an application from Welcome Break to build a 100-lorry car park right in the middle of one of the finest views in Somerset. The view, the view from the Ham Hill stone Iron Age fort, looking right towards 40 kilometers down towards the end of the River Parrett. You can actually see Hinkley Point B power station from us. It's 40 kilometers away.
Right.
And I'm trying to, at the moment, work out how do I write the kind of letter I want to write about preserving views or preserving biodiversity or something like that. And I'm sort of looking for examples. I was thinking the Gloucestershire, for example, the service station that you have at Gloucester. Now, what do I need? I actually have to write down to use some of the ideas that you see at the Gloucester service station. It's just a question of helping people like me who, there are about half a dozen of us in the parish who have to write these things. And they've got to be at least as good as the professionally written documents that Welcome Break has produced.
Right, that's a wonderful idea, and I'll put all of our horde researchers straight onto it. It's a great thought, though, Andrew. Thank you. Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, Graham. I need more time to play, but it looks really interesting. But am I right in saying that if you search in the search box, it just refers you to the internal Banter sessions? It's not searching the internet. Is that right?
Not searching the internet, but it's not just the Banter sessions either. We are adding data all the time that isn't conceived during the Banter sessions. So the Banter sessions are currently the major part purely because we've been doing them for longer.
So does that imply that is the idea that the great collaboration is sort of vetting all the data that's available through say a chat GPT search that anybody can do, and it's got you've got an idea that what you're searching in the great collaboration is of a higher quality than a general search of the internet?
Well, what we're trying to find is examples of best practice. So the Git book is a wiki. So rather like Wikipedia, the idea is that we refine solutions down to the best one suited to the particular requests that you're making. So, you have best practice for Manchester, best practice for London, and best practice for Martock in Somerset, which is rather smaller than either of the other two.
So I guess I'm a bit concerned that the Banter sessions are not. I mean, they're very interesting, but they're sometimes quite random. And people, they come. You get anybody who volunteers can come and talk about what they've been doing, but there's no sort of filter that says this is high quality information, and we recommend this as your solution. And I think that could be a bit misleading.
Yes and no. The most useful part of the Banter sessions, I think, are the links that come up in the chat that people put in because their experience has shown that they've been triggered by something that was said in the Banter session, and so they share the knowledge with us. And I've yet to go through all of the Banter sessions and put all the knowledge that are in the links into the knowledge base. But I think it's a constantly refining situation, Tristram, where because it's like a wiki, the more data that we get in, then more people will say this is much more clicked on than that one. So we'll get rid of the one that isn't ever watched, and we'll go for the one that is.
I think you need that sort of process because I was thinking if you're a parish councillor and you wanted to know how to go about writing a resilience plan, I think you might get a better solution if you search the internet than if you search the Banter sessions.
Yes, because in theory, you're not any longer searching the Banter sessions. It's purely that at the moment, the largest contribution to the knowledge base is via the Banter sessions. But I'm sure that will soon disappear under the welter of information that you're going to start passing to me.
Okay, thank you.
Amanda, we're back to you.
Yeah, I'm thinking of I'm long enough in the tooth to have been around when NICE was set up for the health service.
Yes.
The National Institute for, well, I'm not even going to go there. It used to be called Clinical Excellence, but it's Clinical and Health something now. Anyway, the point here is that obviously whatever was in NICE's recommendation went through that filter of expertise and absolute gold standard sort of filters. So that it could be relied upon, and actually the NHS not fund things unless they met that high standard. So there is that side of it, and then there's the wiki side of it. And I'm sure each of us, if we're looking at what's in there, whilst it's still small enough, will pick up things and kind of act as a filter of common sense, let's say. But I kind of get Tristram's point about the expertise. Will we get somebody, will we start to get perhaps people that don't have the same moral compass that we do starting to put things in because they're climate change deniers or something? And then, of course, that will get picked up and so it could get corrupted if we don't have some sort of, I don't know, great collaboration kind of frontier champions on there checking it out.
Well, there is another slide to go, which points out that we need to work out how to get contributions from people. And I think one of the arguments we've come up so far is that the only people who can contribute are those who've become members of Great Collaboration, which is not that high a barrier at the moment, but I suspect that we'll have to start looking to see who are the climate deniers and the people who just set out to spoil things. I agree with you. I've also made a note from what Tristan was saying. We probably need to introduce a system of voting on a page so that people can say, yes, we think this is the better one rather than that one or whatever. But I've made a note to do that.
We could give them stars, like with reviews.
Yeah, absolutely. All of the above. But again, there's lots of ways that somebody can just put over and over stars on their particular contribution. It's a difficult one.
Can I come off now and come back on so that David can have a go?
Thank you. David, all yours.
Yes, there's a difference. The knowledge base isn't the first place people go. It's actually greatcollaboration.uk. So anything that is verified and we want to tell the world, you get directly on the main site. The knowledge base is a backup with more details on particular topics that are too big to just put on the main site. So it doesn't have to be the same quality.
That's very interesting.
And the next thing after that, and this is something you just mentioned about the next slide, is the question I forgot to ask: how can we edit Gitbook?
Yes. Well, let me get to that when we get to the next slide, because I'm just making notes on what you're saying.
And also the search on that site has the typical property of an AI search that majority wins over minorities.
Yeah.
But of course, if you're really specific, you'll just get one source.
Correct. I'm busy writing, David. Thank you. Amanda, you're irrepressible.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment. So when Tristram put his hand up, I was absolutely certain he was going to ask the question about whether there was a geographical search with a map and so on. Because what I'd like to know is if I was searching on nature recovery strategies, I'd like to instantly be able to search those around me.
That's a wonderful point, and yes, it's already been clarified. It's already been agreed with Parish Online, and we are in the process of putting it into practice. So far, we've managed it on one singular topic, which I can't even remember what that one is now, but there is one map on the website which you can go to and do exactly what you're saying, and the intent is to do it for everything.
Fantastic.
So
Graham, we are on it on this journey with you. Nobody's expecting it to be perfect yet. You're just showing us an insight, a vision of where we're heading.
There you go.
And, yeah.
And
Fantastic.
I love the smile on Tristram's face. You've made him very happy.
Yeah, I noticed too. Thank you.
Well done. So anybody else, please, got any feedback from what they've done? Alan Wilson has just come up. Hi, Alan.
Hi. All it was is in relation to common abbreviations, which has been said. So the Climate Change Commission, CCC, and then putting in NBS, which was the nature-based solutions. No returns in respect to those. So is there like a glossary that we could actually pin at the back end so that people could see those? Nothing more.
That's a great idea, Alan. Thank you. I'm busy writing. What did you say NBS was for?
Nature-based solutions.
Thank you. Do you have a reference that you're familiar with that we could perhaps adopt?
Not off the top of my head, but I'll dig one out, that's for sure.
Thank you.
I've just done a co-pilot search for Andrew in respect of his. I can paste it into the response that came through. This is in relation to the 419.
Okay, thank you. This has all been very helpful and very rich in information and feedback. Thank you. I'm really grateful. Let me just share my... Oh, Amanda, I knew there'd be always one.
Oh, it was Alan who said 419. He dared to
Sorry,
say
it's
those words.
417. Yeah.
417, 419, it's both. You're correct on both. Cotswold National Landscape, we had a massive input into that road and its nature impact. And we've got so many supplementary documents about it that could be helpful. So maybe I could just simply signpost to Cotswold National Landscape and looking at the input we put into the inquiry that created the road, the whole planning process.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
wonderful. Thank you. Theo, all yours. You're muted at the moment.
Thank you very much indeed. I need to leave in about 4 minutes' time, but I just wanted to share with you that my learning style leans very strongly towards pragmatist activist. So I can't wait to finish what I've got to do for the rest of the day and have a real good play on this. And I'll then be in a better position to give you some meaningful feedback. But this is my first visit to this group, and it was very exciting to hear the different types of intelligence and the different types of offerings that this group of people are bringing. Very exciting. Thank you very much.
It's very rich, very rewarding, isn't it? I agree.
Absolutely.
Before Leo disappears, can I do a quick introduction that Leo, do you mind me outing you on this section?
You go ahead, please do. Save me out.
Thank
yourself.
you. Leo is working with me. I chair Gloucestershire's local government branch of Unison. And next year, 2026, is the year of Green Unison. And Leo is working with me on the whole thing about Green Unison and the Gloucestershire area in particular from a parish and town council perspective.
Oh my.
That's, I wanted to get that in before he disappears.
No pressure, Amanda, at all, is there really?
Well done, thank you. And we got, yes, let me just go and share my screen and finish this off.
The Lord loveth a volunteer. Yes.
Yes.
As one of my bosses used to say, constantly.
I'm on the wrong screen, aren't I? Let's go there. I think I'm on the wrong screen still. Let's try that one. Let's try that one. Let's try that one. So now are we on the have a go yourself screen?
Indeed.
Good. Let me go down to the next one. Oh, not in the slideshow mode. Hang on a second.
Graham, you're in the wrong view.
Yeah,
mode.
I know. Let me transfer across to the other side.
I think you just pressed the wrong button on the share screen mode.
Yeah, there we go. Well, I mean, I'm on twin screens and I've got the wrong page up on the other screen. Let's change that. Rather than fight it, I'm going to live with it. And let's go for no, just go with this one for the moment. I can change screen.
You need to go back one, I think, Graham.
Yeah, bear with me a second if I can.
We can see what you've got.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I've been trying not to say the dark side, but I've now failed, of course.
What's not? Oh, there's the next slide. All right. So on the right-hand side, all I am saying is that please do send contributions to my email address, which is there. And thank you so very much for all your help and input this morning. It's been very exciting. And I'm looking forward to implementing all those changes that you've suggested in the next couple of hours. So if no one else has got anything that they wish to contribute, oh, there's always one.
Oh, it's always me.
Indeed.
I don't want to get too excited too quickly. So it's kind of wait, like I'd say to the guide dogs. Is this shareable yet? Or do you have to be a member to be able to access it?
It's very much shareable. It is published to anyone who happens to have the link. So by all means, let people know. At the moment, somebody asked the question of how we're going to add contributions themselves. That facility is not yet made up because I, A, haven't worked out how to do it, or B, how to get the quality control in place. But so it'll be read-only for everybody. But yes, you're welcome to share it. The more people that hear about it and give us feedback, hopefully, the better.
So Gloucestershire Association of Parish and Town Councils, is it too soon to be sharing with all parish and town councils, in your opinion? Do you want to wait for a launch?
I don't think so, frankly. I'm open to opinion from other members of the great collaboration, but I'm sort of the opinion at the moment that the more feedback I get at the beginning, the easier it's going to become.
Fantastic, thank you.
Give it a try, and if it doesn't work, Amanda, we'll just blame you.
Word of caution, word of caution, Graham.
Yes, Alan.
You could get snowed. What I would actually do is do a couple of weeks phased. Rather than actually get snowed.
Let's just see what Amanda does, and then if it becomes too much, I'll know. And the rest of you can stay stum for the moment.
But I think what Graham just said there was that it's in view only mode. So we'll get a lot of joiners, but we won't get a lot of information fed down the pipe yet.
Well, we may, yes, if they follow the request to send me the email, then we will get overwhelmed with it.
I'm with you. Okay.
But we'll see. All right, David.
Yes. If Gitbook works like Git, you should be able to add things that are in a separate branch and not published on the main pages.
One can do that. That is correct. Yes. Oh, I see. You're suggesting we open that up to everybody to put their contributions in.
If you first of all find the best way of doing that, and then give us instructions on how to do that.
That's a nice thought, David. Thank you. Yeah.
We've got a high-low forum is one option, isn't it, Graham? Yeah.
True. We're still working on what is the most feasible and practical solution for getting people involved. So that we do have a link through Hilo, which is a sort of communication system which allows people to be grouped together and for comments to be shared, rather like Facebook, but within a specific conversational group. But you can share the screen, you can show people what you're talking about, you can get lots of feedback. And we're trying to sort of eventually work out what is the best way of linking all these systems into one integrated whole. But again, it's an aspiration rather than an actuation so far. But thanks, David. I've made a note of your suggestion because you're quite right. There is a facility to put non-published stuff into the Git book. And I'll try that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. And then any climate denying stuff can be simply cancelled out. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that might save a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Many thanks.
Yeah. And there will be some.
Yes.
Sadly.
Amanda, fancy you're raising your hand.
Well, I just wanted to comment on your label. Great collaboration overseas department.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, I'm a long, long way from the North Island.
Well, there we are. I didn't want the whole session to go without noting it. So congratulations.
Well, thank you very much to everybody for your contributions. Very helpful. I've filled all the bits of paper I've got available, and I look forward to putting them into practice. And do please keep the comments coming. Don't take today as the end of it. Take today as the start of it.
Yes. Well done, Graham. And behind the scenes, Jenny's on the call as well. She's been adding her shoulder to the wheel as well. So great stuff.
Yes. Now we've got just a tip for next week. We're going to have Climate Emergency UK talking to us about local government climate action. And I think that will be very, very interesting of how you can get involved with what your local governments are trying to do at the divisional level. And Climate Emergency UK are obviously very familiar and expert with this. So I recommend that to everybody and hope that you all have a wonderful time enjoying the sunshine and lack of wind, says he as a sailor. That is most appealing. Take care all. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, and well done.
Thank you.
Very good.
Bye-bye.